Hello everyone, Donnie Wanders here, and today I have wandered to Pubnico Point in Yarmouth County, Nova Scotia. The trailhead for this trail is at the end of a road that goes down past a wind farm. So you can see the big turbines turning around me. The trail is a series of loops that I'm going to start by going out on the coast. I'm pointing towards it, but let me turn around so you can see. So I'm going to head out on this part of the trail that's on the coast. I might need to put my sweater on because it is a little windy. Obviously a big advantage for the turbines to build them in a place that's kind of on the windy side. These trails, by the way, have been built through community volunteers and community partnerships. So they're a completely community-run trail system, which is really cool. There are several trails here at the point that kind of loop in on themselves. I'm on what appears to be an old road that hugs the very coastline. I'm opting to do that today because it's not super windy here today, although it is windy, as you can tell from the turbines turning behind me. But then there's also a trail right in here that we may end up taking that trail back to the parking area. I'm going to stick out to the coastline right now, but I imagine that on a really windy day, just being tucked in the trees would be a much more pleasant walk to break up some of the wind. On beaches, we often get things washed up. Those are a couple of lobster traps laying on the beach there. Lobster traps used to be all made out of wood. Now they're made out of that metal cage material. They're not nearly as attractive as the wooden ones. And they don't deteriorate either. So those will lay on that beach for years and years to come, unless someone comes and removes them. Whereas the wooden ones eventually would break up and be reclaimed by nature. It takes much longer for those ones to break up, which of course is a benefit if you're a lobster fisherman, because the metal traps last much longer. They're far more rugged than the wooden ones, which often required quite a lot of repair. So I've reached the very point of the point. Here you can see behind me I've come out almost as far as I can, and if you look this way you'll see that the trail is starting to curve back in. So I'm at the pointy end of the point. Out here you can see the waves are crashing a little bit. It's certainly not like a big weather day or a big wave event happening. But where you can see the waves crashing here, that means the water is quite a bit more shallow there. And you can see too from out here just how many wind turbines there are. I'm not sure how many there are at this wind farm, but it looks to be a few dozen here. And these have been here for at least 20 years, but I think even a little longer than that, maybe 25. There's quite the collection of birds out on this rock. There's a mixture of seagulls and cormorants as well. Oh, and there they all go. Not far, just taking cover from me. I spooked them. From here, I could continue along the beach out that way, and I think it ends just about 100 meters in front of me. But instead, I'm going to take this trail back up through the woods so I can get a close-up look at some of the wind turbines. I would not consider this to be a windy day, but it's windy enough right on the shoreline that I needed a sweater. But as soon as I turned onto this trail, which has very limited cover from brush, and I am getting into some trees, I had to take my sweater off. This is a beautiful trail though. There's benches and signage. And look at this gorgeous thing. Sir Felton by Acadian artist, carved by the sea. Ooh, that's a beautiful sculpture. There's a fairly big push on in Nova Scotia right now towards building more wind farms like this. This one is, like I said, has been here for over 20 years. And there are a few more under construction right now, and there are several more scattered throughout the province. Nova Scotia is well poised for development of harnessing wind energy for power. We have lots and lots of space. We are a fairly rural province, so there is quite a lot of space available to build wind farms. We also have very favorable winds here. Our winds tend to be fairly moderate and very, very consistent. So we are a great candidate for wind farms in that regard. You know, a lot of people look at these wind farms and they think, oh, well, we're never going to go away from fossil fuels. But I think we are. Like, I think generating power with fossil fuels, I do think it is coming to an end, mainly because it is expensive. One of the biggest advantages of wind-generated power is that there's no market value on wind. So to generate power at like a old school coal-fired power generating station, the price of coal is determined by a whole bunch of things, but that market price of coal, or whatever fuel you're using, is artificially set by other things that are happening in the financial markets. But no one can control the price of wind. So I do think that that's the big advantage, that there's a lot more stability in the price of wind-generated power because the wind will always be here. Whereas with fossil fuels, the market fluctuates a lot, and that changes the price of the power that we pay in our homes. So yeah, huge advantage for wind farms in that regard. No market fluctuation. Well, I'm just approaching the trailhead. I don't know how far I walked today, probably between 1 and 2 kilometers. It was pretty short, although if you come visit Pubnico Point Trail, you could certainly increase or decrease your mileage, depending on which trails you choose. But here I am at the parking lot, getting my last glimpses of these incredible wind turbines behind me. So what do you think about wind turbines? I would like to know. I know some people think that they're beautiful. Some people think that they are a blight on the landscape. I personally find them really mesmerizing and very cool to look at. So yeah, leave me a comment. But I am going to wrap it up here. So thanks for watching, and Donnie Wanders. We'll see you in the next one.